Hello everybody, my dog is currently sitting on my lap, so if you hear something start panting, it's not me. I promise it is not that hot inside my room. That is my dog. Chrome, I have questions. Hello everyone, welcome to the Q&A stream. Everyone is allowed to ask questions except for sharp tax. Yes, you are not allowed. You promise? No promises. I have a question. I don't like your tone. Read your message. I don't like your tone. I don't like the tone of how you said that. I have a question. Raises your hand. Question, can I ask a question? When can I ask a question? Actually, this Q&A stream, you're not allowed to ask questions. I've decided that just now. That's a joke. You guys can ask questions. I'm sorry I'm being so mean. Question, will you be playing Destiny 2 for Pride Month or are you homophobic? Oh, the facility. Oh, the facility. Oh, the facility. I love gay people. Y'all saw what I dropped on Pride Month. Y'all saw. Chat, if you're in my Ko-fi server, you already know this, but I'm working on the next one. I'm working on the next one. Huge news. I hopefully will finish the storyboard by the end of this week, maybe not. It depends on how much time I have, but I am having a lot of fun with it. I am so glad that people like the pork soda that I made. Crump Toast, how can you manage Krita's lag? Okay, so actually there is in fact a reason. If you look, oopsies, hold on. If you look at the top, that says pork soda part 1. And that's because I broke up pork soda into like 7 different parts in order to actually animate everything. Because if you look in the corner down here, that is how much space is being used up currently. That like little yellow area right here. And if it like starts getting yellow, I start getting nervous. How do you feel this is getting more fandom traction than that Tord short? Tomska has liked the post. And I'm kind of scared. I am kind of scared. How do you animate on Krita? I can give like a little tutorial. He liked my tweet with the link to the animation and I got so scared. But I have to break a pork soda into like 7 different parts. I think the like fattest part where it like started like leaning to like maybe like red was pork soda 3.5. And that was because there's a lot of frame by frame in it. He's going to sue you! Had to explain to him what Pork Soda was because he thought it was Tom Toy's official ship name, and he was like, shouldn't that be Eden Toy's ship name? That is true. Yep, this is it. This is the fattest one I have. This one is so big, you can see it's like really pushing it. And if I ever want to re-watch this, if I want to re-render this entire animation, watch it in the program, look how long it'll take to load. Hold on. I don't know if the window will pop up because, what's the word? Because it doesn't pick up on that on the stream. Capture, blah, 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 blah. Capture, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I'm gonna... Crumb, do you know what Dear Starboy is? I'm not reading that, okay? I'm not reading it. I know what it is. Okay, I am reading it, but I'm reading it in a voice call with friends. I'm gonna press play, see how long it takes to load. Okay, y'all can't see, but it says regenerating cache, estimated 1 minute. So I have to wait 1 minute every time I animate, and I want to see things to see if it syncs up with the audio or anything. I always have to wait 1 minute. And I know that's super annoying, but it is way better than the fact that I used to animate on Flip-A-Clip. And you might be wondering why my canvas size is like so weirdly specific and large. That is because this part outside of the border, well, within the border, that is the actual like 1080, 1920. So this is all the stuff you guys see. But for those who do not know, it's actually fully drawn outside of the border. Like obviously since there's camera movement, some things will get cropped out, which is why I can't include that in the final project, which is why when I make something, I have this. Without the background, I can see how much of it is actually going to be in the final shot. That means there are some little Easter eggs in certain parts. Especially in the ending scene. I thought you did this on Flip-A-Clip. I'd literally actually rather die than animate this on Flip-A-Clip. Genuine question, how do you manage to make the animation sync with audio, especially in lip sync parts, since Krita doesn't let you add audio? Fun fact, it does. It's this little button right here. This little button, how can I do this? I guess I can do a display capture. And then just hope nothing pops up on my screen and then I don't, like, flash my location somehow or something. I don't know. Window capture, what would it be called? Display capture. Okay. Hold on. My primary monitor? Sorry, y'all. I'm like a fake streamer. I don't know how to do anything. I don't know anything. Also, I'm very glad that people use Krita or like are noticing that I use Krita. Please use Krita. I love Krita. So if you see here, this little button, it's super, super small. And when you pull up Krita, okay, we're also just gonna do a bit of an animation tutorial, I guess. Why do people think you're LARPing whenever you fandom post? I have subscribers, so that means I don't have any passion and I'm just doing things for clout. Which, by the way, guys, everything got copyrighted. I'm genuinely making $0. This is 4 months of hard work, and I make $0. You cannot LARP that hard if you wanted to. And if I was LARPing, it gets to a point where it's just like, okay, if you're doing that much, it's gotta just be real. So, this is how Krita will normally look. And you'll be like, where is literally everything? I will say, Krita, the version I am using is not the most recent updated version. I'm using like 5000. And that's because I don't like the new UI. But like, if you download Krita, like, get whatever you want. But I'm just giving a heads up because I might tell you something and like you don't see it, or maybe it's in a different place. So if you want to do animation on Krita, you're gonna have to open up an animation timeline. And then that's where you'll get everything. You'll get all your frames. And then here you can put in your audio. Change audio, remove audio, mute it, whatever. It will say you have to always use a .wav file. .wav. If you don't, your audio will desync and you'll literally want to kill yourself. Trust me. Trust me, please. Also, maybe that's a sign to switch to Britain. Why is Krita getting autocorrected? How is Krita getting autocorrected to Britain, but you're still able to spell getting with a B? But you can... There's camera movement too, which is how I'm doing all of the movement with the zooming, or like the slight tilt these guys have. But if I show y'all that, I'm gonna put up a different canvas, and I'll give you guys like a big tutorial, like maybe in the last hour. If you guys have questions about like this animation specifically, then I'll do that now instead. Why was Matt in one frame? Do you hate him or something? I have no qualms with Matt. But apparently, the Eddsworld fandom does. I don't know what that guy did. I don't know everything. But, unfortunately, Matt was only in like a singular frame, and I am sorry. I'm gonna try to put him in my next animation, but that will only be for one shot, probably. What inspired you to make this AU? Okay, I really like Tom Toyd, but I really... And this is not like a diss on people who like different interpretations. But me specifically, I wasn't really a big fan of them being like, oh, I love you. Oh, I'm in love with you. And I'm not actually evil. I'm just being forced to be evil. I kind of like the idea of him just sucking. Like, not to be like, oh, but like this happened when he was a kid. But like, I do like the idea that's just like the kind of person he is. Because my version of Tom and Toyd is just kind of like, he's very arrogant. He has a very, very big ego. And he kind of thinks he's better than other people. Also, this is a fun frame. His hand isn't actually complete. It's not like you guys would know, though. But in my version of Tom Toyd, and I know it's not canon, and I know like someone met Ed first, blah, blah, blah. But in my made-up version, which is allowed because it's made up, Tom and Toyd were childhood friends, and then Toyd, they kind of have like a falling out, which I wasn't able to show in this animation, but I would like to get into it in my next one. By the way, this is what my animation timeline looks like. This is what it looks like if I'm doing a bunch of frame by frame. It's so awful, and it's probably so confusing to look at. It looks like piano tiles, genuinely. I love that you completed the line art for the fingers anyways. Listen, I use the fill tool. I don't want to have to like erase it or anything. How much time did that take? I can actually check by seeing what dates were published in the Ko-fi server. I know that the first part of Pork Soda took me like 5 days because I was like so addicted to like just grinding everything out. Okay, so the references for this scene were made on the 3rd of May. And the finished version... That can't be right. Okay, apparently I finished this in 3 days. Okay, I don't know. From when I sent the references to when I sent the final video in the server, it was 3 days. I finished this May 6th and I started it May 3rd. I will say that this is only about like a minute. This is only about like a minute of the actual animation. I think the one that probably took me the longest was probably the part with, when Toyd first comes back. What hours were you pulling? Okay, listen. Hey, this yaoi stuff gets serious, okay? Do you have any other interpretations for Tom Toyd's dynamic that you didn't add for this animation? I love your representations of them so much. I don't know. I feel like I've kind of shown everything. I think something that... Oh my god. And I feel like... You know, like that photo of like Tiny Build making like tweets at MatPat, like, oh, I'm sure MatPat will be interested in this. I'm sure MatPat would be interested to look into the... I feel like that, trying to like show you guys the details of this animation. Like, I feel like that, showing you guys this stuff. Dissecting this frame by frame. But, a lot of... There's something I wish people did. Like, definitely, I want people to look more at the news clippings out here. Also, Ko-fi supporters are also in the news clippings. This, by the way, a little Easter egg for y'all. This is Angel from Chainsaw Man. Because I got 4 of, like, my Ko-fi supporters. 2 of them were just very, like, long-time supporters, and 2 of them just donate a lot per month. So I asked them, I was like, I'm gonna put you all as soldiers in the Red Army. You'll be in this shot, you'll be in that shot. And I asked them to just provide, like, little descriptors of what they, oops, let's move this here. Of what they look like, just, like, fill out a little thumbnail thingy so that I could interpret their design into the, animation. So I provided them this, and they drew all over it, giving me, like, oh, curly hair, square glasses, this tall, this kind of build, this kind of face shape. So 4 of the Ko-fi supporters did that, but one of them was just like, oh, I don't want to, like, put myself in it. Can you just put an Angel from Chainsaw Man? That I really like that character. So everyone here is, like, themselves, basically, and then there's just Angel. And let me see if I have a better frame of that. And let's pull up the saves. I am so glad I'm done with this, and I'm so glad people took it well. I will say, I see that there are some people who are upset that I, didn't have them kiss. And I'm so sorry. But, like, I don't think it would have been as good if they did kiss. Like, in my opinion. That's just my personal interpretation of Tom Toyd. They aren't about that life. Yeah, they don't support that kind of lifestyle. And then I have all of the Ko-fi supporters. They all get to flash. I unfortunately didn't give them their doodles just because it would have made this scene look too messy. But I'm trying to figure out where I'm gonna put the credits in for my next one, and hopefully I'll be able to do that. But yeah. Not to be tiny build, but I believe you guys will be enjoying dissecting this frame by frame. Because we have a few references to certain things. And this one, I believe, will answer or at least give some speculation for some people on what's up and what's happening. Because I have some people who are asking me like, oh, like what happened to Tom? Like, why does he still have his eyes? You will see. Why are some people gray? Sometimes that's just how the cookie crumbles. Let me see if I can find Angel. Angel from Chainsaw Man. Yeah, there they are. Okay. By the way, drawing like 1 trillion soldiers is like the most annoying thing ever. And it feels like so much work. And like, it doesn't even take that long. That's what's even worse. Like, it feels like so much, and I feel like I'm doing so much stuff, but then it's only been like 13 minutes. This is Angel from Chainsaw Man. This is Angel from Chainsaw Man. This is Lord King, this is GD Pearl, and then this is Skitty Kitty. They all have little antennas. Aww. Yeah, everyone in the Red Army has the little spikes on their helmet, like Toyd's original helmet when he gets in his giant robot. And everyone who is fighting against Jesus Christ, I have to draw so many people, who's not a part of the Red Army, they have these helmets from that one military episode. You have such a good sense of shot composition and color grading and pacing with this and that. It's a Tom Toyd animation. Thank you. I am glad that it looks good. I was really worried, especially in this part, just because I wanted it to, I don't know. I was worried that it wouldn't be as, like, a heavy hitter. I was really worried about that. And I know some people don't like the Toyd scar I gave him, because some people are saying it's like unrealistic and stuff, but I don't know. Listen, in that frame we get of him, like his entire side of his body is like red and shredded. What happened to him? Basically, he is in his robot, and Tom shoots a harpoon through it. And while he is in it, it blows up. Like, the entire, like, robot blows up while he's inside of it. And then after that, he has to, like, shove his way out of the rubble. And I know it's, like, not accurate, but, like, it's kind of fun. Like, can't we just have some fun? I don't know. Sorry for repeating myself, but I love that you can tweet and use camera movement. And Krita, it's so useful. Okay, my dog is panting. That's not me. He's a very quiet panter, though. Are you polite? Are you a polite puppy? Yes, you are. I cannot recommend using Krita enough. I will say, though, my PC is pretty strong. And I know there are some people who are like, oh, I literally can't make, like, a 4-second animation without it blowing up. So I don't know. Better than him just being half red. Why is my steak too good and juicy argument? I actually have the, stop looking at me. I have the references I made for future Toyd and Tom. But that's for the Ko-fi supporters. Winks at you guys. And another fun detail. Oh, you guys can look at Tom fully. No more smoke. No more smoke, no more border. Look at him. Beautiful. Look how nice he is. Doesn't your PC just go green sometimes? It doesn't go green, it goes red. So if you just get it right, at least. To be fair, your design basically kickstarted everyone making red leaders super messed up looking instead of just red. I do feel kind of bad though, because I know like people think it's like overused and stuff. And I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry, bros. Do you storyboard or are you insanely on that grind? I do in fact storyboard. And when you see the storyboard, you're gonna realize how much my style has changed since animating. Also a fun detail. This, I saw someone kind of mention it, but they weren't sure. But this frame is a parallel to the other frame where, what's the word? Where Tom sees Toy again for the first time in the house. I saw someone notice it, but then they were like not sure. But it is in fact intentional, and that's why in both shots it has like the little shine. Let me see if I can pull it up. Also, this is another frame where it is technically fully drawn behind the scenes and you just never know because you can't see it. These frames I upload to the Ko-fi and they're just better quality in general because like it's not through like Twitter. But these two frames are the same and that's why it... Look how fat it is! Oh god, look at that! Look in the corner. Look at this. Oh god, what do you mean waiting for image operation to complete? I didn't click anything. Very specific detail, but I love the little line of color between the shadow and the normal tone on the hair. Yes, I really like doing shading like that. I feel like it makes it, I don't know what it adds, but it just makes me feel better and like I'm not being as lazy. So, here, let me see if I can pull it up. Also, I am incredibly relieved that people like this frame. I thought people would think that it was, like, weird or, like, just stupid. But I am so glad people are on the creepy toy train. Also, Amnesia in the background. A lot of my, I don't even know what this layer was for. Why is that there? In a lot of the storyboards, it like kind of changes because my style is like changing a lot, obviously. But this was probably like the one storyboard where like I was trying so hard to make it exactly like the storyboard. Because I have no idea. Like, in the sketch, I was so obsessed with it. I was like, I need to make it exactly the same. It's exactly the same down to every single little, like, line inconsistency in his eyes. To every single little gap in his eye. Because I genuinely did not know how to replicate the exact expression I wanted. Without, like, changing it too much. And I remember his face took me, like, so long. He took you over and drew it himself. He's such a freak. Wasn't there also an Amnesia poster on Tord's room, right? Amnesia or something. Yes! I have been putting in a lot of, little Easter eggs on, like, all the posters I make. Just because there's, like, so much in their house, I just like shove in anything wherever I can. So there's lots of crumb cats in the photos. There is a Matt. There actually is a Matt, but you don't see him because of the cropping. So there's actually a secret Matt, but nobody ever knows. Nobody will ever know. But I do storyboard it, when I animate the, when I start, sending things to the Ko-fi server for, early access, what I normally do, I'll make the entire storyboard first. And then after that entire thing's done, I send it all to early access, and then I slowly start working on it. And then people get works in progresses. There's a crumb cat and a bull I thought was cute. Yeah, that replaced Tommy Bear because it was originally supposed to be him. Because there are shots in as well where Tommy Bear's just sitting in a little bowl. And I stole that. and I replaced it with Crumb Cat. I feel like such a narcissist whenever I put like a little reference to myself in the animation. Like, you know that photo of Mickey Mouse where he's like outside of his house and it looks like him? And it's just like, what a narcissist. That's what I feel like. By the way, do not draw impact frames if you don't know how impact frames work. I was so confused the entire time. Crumb, how do you even choose your colors? They're insanely good. Thank you. I usually have a base. Sometimes I'll include shading in that base. I'll show you guys what are the references. I won't be showing you guys the future Tom and Toy reference, however. That one's lost media. Lost media. Crumb lost media. Crumb, what brush do you use to color? I use the default brush. I know that's like lame, and my friend actually thought I was still using Flip-A-Clip because of that. But I use just that. Unless I'm like, for these guys, these were all done with the lasso tool. I actually do have a recording I took of me drawing them. Let me see if I can pull it up. Like, I took a recording of it and then I just didn't really share it because I was looking at it and I was like, okay, this is kind of just lame. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it was fine, but like, it's not really much. But it kind of shows you how I draw them. And I cannot recommend enough to start using lasso tool. It took me like 13 minutes to draw all of the soldiers. And I just carved them out. And it helps you a lot with making silhouettes. I cannot stress enough. It'll save you so much time. Lasso tool appreciation, yes. I use it to help me color as well. But for the line art, it's all done using the default brush. And imagine doing that for every single frame, multiple times, for multiple soldiers. It wasn't the most fun. What was I gonna show y'all again? I can't remember. Someone asked for something. Oh yeah, the references. I'll show you guys the references. Gonna show us your address. Of course! Why didn't I think of that? You're genius. Okay, animation. Nope, that's the red leader ref. I think it's this one? Question mark? Okay, yeah, this one has like everything. Don't be like Crumb Cup Toast. Make sure you organize your layers. So, this is how I usually do it. I would just have like a base for both Tom and Torg. And then I would just use that line art to color it in and then try and experiment with the colors. So, in this one, you can see that we have the red version and we also have the blue version. This is what it switches in between in that animation. The palm out poses. Bro, stop. Oh my god. I literally felt like the freaking Owl House over here. Fun fact. A fun little detail that I'll tell y'all just because I don't think anyone will notice. In the animation, there actually is an off-white color for this red background, but Torg's eyes stay the same as it is in the blue one because he only has eyes for Tom. And he's kind of just stuck there. He's always thinking about him. He'll always have some blue on him. Do you like your Tom toy red or blue? Blue raspberry is the best flavor. Bars! And it was my favorite part to animate when he was like, kind of like freaking out. Because the entire time he's freaking out, his eyes still don't change. So, let me show y'all if it pulls up the animation. Krita's gonna inevitably crash, by the way. I'm like opening way too many files and stuff. So his eye color stays the same, no matter what background it is. Oh god, it's getting really red over here. Something that people did notice that I really am glad they did was the fact that they share each other's colors as kids, but when they grow up, they're on their own now. So, I love this shot just because he's so freaky, but he still stays blue. This is my favorite part just because I like to animate lip sync, and also because I think it does the best at kind of showing how obsessed he got with Tom. So this is the actual off-white that should be used in that red segment, because it's still blue here, technically. This is what it would be if he was normal. Why is it getting angrier? You're not adding anything to the frames. I don't know. It's so red. Cram teaches us color theory. Sit down, class. Colors is probably my biggest thing that I struggle with, if I'm being honest. This, like, trying to come up with the colors for this was so hard. It was so hard and it was so bad, and I couldn't figure it out for so long. Are you still animating with your finger only? No, thank God. I am animating with a Wacom Intuos. And I have been asked what frames... I don't want to be here, honestly. This is so big, and I haven't even been touching it. So, I'm just gonna leave you. I don't need to save you. There's nothing added. I really love the shot with Tom's eyes narrowing. Okay, I really like seeing people's different kind of interpretations on what kind of emotion he has on his face. Honestly in love with the shot where Tori looks so distressed while Tom looks chill in the background, and it cuts to towards staring at Tom. Like, oh my days, that just shows how obsessed he is. This is really specific, but why do you prefer triangle color wheel, not square? When I see a lot of people using triangle, but I can't understand why. I don't know. That was the default one when I downloaded Krita. I'm sad to admit, but I don't actually know most art tools or like why certain things are good or any actual terms for things. I just use it because it was there. I'm sorry. I use the triangle color wheel in Krita, but on Flip-A-Clip, it automatically gives me the square one, so I just use a square one. Bro's aura farming, he thinks he's cool. Oh my god, animating smoke is so annoying. Thankfully, I animated it and over, and that helped me get used to it. But it is so annoying. If you look at this line art, the one that says, why is there another layer? Okay, whatever. Oh, that was for the flash warning that I added. Everything's animated like 3 frames apart. Was the smoke animated with lasso tool? Not this one, I don't think. I actually don't even remember how I animated this one. I don't remember how I animated things. I'm gonna be honest, sometimes I do things, and then like, it just like, I forget how to do it. I animated toward walking. In the animation of him walking, I literally had no idea how to do it. Like, I was struggling so much. And then I realized I've literally animated like 8 walk cycles. And I rewatched my own animations to help me remember how to do it. You animate on 3s? I'll animate on 1s, I'll animate on 2s. It just depends. It depends on the specific shot. I do. Okay, I am a bit lazy because sometimes I'll animate on 2s just because it's like, I don't want to have to do like frame by frame so much, especially when it's a shot of like a really... Oh, whoa, Tom, where are you? Hello? Oh, there you are. Especially if it's a shot like this. This was animated on ones, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this was animated on ones. But it just depends on if it feels natural or not. Because so many people have the kind of misconception that if you do a lot of frames, it'll look good. But sometimes more is less. Sometimes you can add a little extra frame and it'll give it a kind of weight, which I think was very useful in the shot with Tord lip syncing. Just because of like how heavy it kind of felt. I don't know how to explain it. By the way, he literally looks like a baby bunny here. My art style changed so much while animating that I keep telling people this, but it looks like a multi-animator project. And it's so embarrassing to look at, but it's whatever. It's done. I don't have to look at it. Did you see that May Thorian saw the animation inspired to them to draw Tom Tord again? Okay, okay, my dog is kicking me in the stomach. I did see, I actually tried to contact them before I started making the animation. But I think, animation inconsistency! Oh no, his little squiggle isn't colored. Oh. And I just found this out. And everyone's also watching. That's so embarrassing. Whatever. Anyways. Parts like this, where he stomps down, I let it linger for one more frame. And I feel like that's good. Animate on twos, bros. It'll save your life. I promise. Delete the animation and start over! Maythorian and glass animals, like, that's so big, dude. I literally feel like that begging emoji. You know that emoji with, like, a missing tooth and a hat on and he's, like, begging for coins? That's how I feel like talking to glass animals. John Glass Animals, please respond to my Instagram DM. Please respond to my Instagram DM. Honestly, as I see it, it could be them growing older and stuff, especially at the end when they're in such a dangerous situation. They're literally going to fight Yummers. I like to think, I've talked about this with my friend a lot. My one friend, shout out to, Tax. I basically funneled all of my Tom Tord thoughts into her. Because I had, like, no one else to talk to about it. Cause, like, yeah, like, I could just, like, dump, like, a freaking essay of, like, my thoughts on them. But that's, like, I don't know, that's embarrassing. No, not Demeli. Demeli's not Ed's World pilled. But, for my interpretation at least, they were very close as children. They're very, very close as children. And I know that's not canon, and I know it's not accurate to the show or whatever. But I think it's cute. And they used to be very close. But I like to think that Tom's parents do actually die. I know it's kind of just like we don't actually know what's up with his parents because, like, is his dad actually a pineapple? Listen, his dad isn't a pineapple in this, but his dad is dead. Somewhere along the way, they're, like, still children. Tom's parents get blown up or something. She got hit by a bazooka or something. And they're, like, children. They're, like, literally babbies. So, they kind of don't really know how to cope with that. And Tord is just like, oh, for some reason Tom doesn't want to play Lava Monster with me anymore. He used to love playing Lava Monster with me. So he starts getting, like, a bit miffed about it. But, like, again, they're kids. Tom's, like, parents are dead and he's in, like, a foster family. So, like, he's kind of reasonably miserable. But again, they're like babies. So he doesn't know that he's supposed to tell his best friend that his parents are dead. What are they fighting about in the scene where they're on the ground together? Ooh, I actually want to show y'all something. It was kind of like a little Easter egg for the $5 Kofi supporters. Let me pull it up. I don't know what specifically they would be talking about or what led to the argument. I'm just like thinking they were probably just always fighting as they usually do. With the border, he has no eyebrows or eyes. But in one of the shots, you can see they're fighting and stuff. And when Tom is about to choke him, he's actually smiling in the shot like a little freak. But nobody knows. You can't see that in the actual animation. But he's enjoying it so much. And the original storyboard, he wasn't supposed to be smiling. He's like also frowning during it. He's also upset. But then I changed it. And the final product, wow! Okay, speaking of change, this was originally not in the shot. This was added later as I was making it because I thought it would be better. And it is better because the other one I had was like a bit lackluster. It looks like they're making out. Yes! And that's what I wanted people to think. Heartbreaking. Crumb Cup Toast queer baits 1000s. I'm queer baiting y'all. That's a joke. Don't get upset at me for saying that. Please don't get upset. It was a joke, bro. But basically, in the original Pork Soda animation, for those during Pride Month, happy Pride Month! In the original animation, Tom and Toad aren't fighting. And when I say original, I don't mean my storyboard, but like the original Pork Soda. They aren't fighting, but they're kind of like kissing on each other. If you know what I'm saying. And the lyrics do mean that. It's like, what was it again? We have like tangled legs or something. Hold on, let me pull it up. I'm such a lifer, I'm sorry. Pork Soda lyrics. So it just says like, back to the house with your arms around my neck. I won't forget how you looked at me then. In the original animation, it is interpreted as like the literal meaning. Wrestling. Yeah, wrestling. But I thought it'd be fun if I still technically did that. Because, I mean, his arms are around his neck. Technically. And their legs are tangled. But I remember laughing about it with my friend. And we were like, dude, it's gonna be so crazy when people watch the animation thinking it's gonna be like the original Pork Soda. But then he's literally trying to kill him. And this frame actually got a lot worse than the original. Because I didn't actually use a reference for this because it's just a placeholder, it's a storyboard. And the position of his hands, it just turns into him genuinely trying to kill him. Did you use anything as inspiration for the scene of Toad holding his eye? It reminds me a lot of a scene from Evangelion. I might be reaching regardless. It's a really impactful scene, so I'm really curious what your thought process was behind it. Sorry if this has been asked before. Ooh. Are you talking about the scene in like the red and blue flashing shot? How do you feel about people currently redrawing some of the frames of the animation, specifically the super vibrant red and blue frames? I am so glad people love that frame. Because that was also my favorite frame. I was so excited to animate it. Hi Creme, just wanted to say I love the animation so much. I've been in the fandom since before the original Pork Soda, and I love your version very much. I also thought it was interesting how future Tom was pre-visor. Do you have a setup timeline for when he gets his visor? I do have... Oh, gee, why is it so fat? I do have the idea for what it would be. Tom does not get it until he joins the Red Army. That is what I'll say. But he also doesn't necessarily need it until he had joined the Red Army. I'll leave it at that. I'm gonna be a bit mysterious. Let me see if... Stop. So... the original storyboard... I don't know if, like... Yeah, this wasn't a part of the original storyboard. I added that just because I didn't know what to put at that part at the time. And then... Aw, look how cute Tom is. I love seeing people's interpretations of Tom's emotion in this shot. Thanks for answering me. I was talking about the one in which you can see Tom in the background and a little sparkle shines in Tom's eye. Toad is holding his eye? Toad is holding his eye. In the spark... Wait. Sorry, I'm thinking. Oh! When Tord wakes up in bed. Sorry, I don't even know my own animation. This was the, storyboard for that scene, though. Tom obviously looks a bit squished and silly in this. But this was, like, one of the shots. This entire segment... This entire storyboard was the one I was looking forward to the most. I love how Tom is blushing even. Yeah, it's really fun to see people's interpretation. That shot, it wasn't inspired from anything specifically. I just wanted to have a lot of shots where it was kind of like Tord in the front and Tom in the back. Because I wanted to slowly build up to this shot. He looks so crazy here. You blacked out when you animated it, and when you woke up, this was all just on your computer. That is basically how it feels. Do you ship anyone else besides Tom Toyd? Oh my god, my dog is so freaking fat! Oh my god, sorry, I didn't... Sorry, my dog is so fat, and he always wants to sit on my lap, but he's so fat, and it's so hot! Oh my god, do you have to lay on me? Oh, my fat chud dog, my chuddy puppy. Say hi to the microphone. That's his paws. Are you not hot? Okay, he is hot. He's panting a little. Ugh. Go sit in my laundry or something. He likes to sit in my, clothes drawer. Swaxicle, dude! This was 100% my favorite part, though. I have, like, multiple messages of me texting my friend, going like, I can't wait to animate this! I can't wait to animate this! I love how soft of a gaze you gave Tom in Tord's scene, and it turned to his true face with his real emotions. Bro, if I was Tom, I'd be freaked out too. What is wrong with this guy? I love Freaky Toyd. I want him to be a freak. I want him to be a jerk. Okay, I know he was unemployed, and that's honestly reasonable for, like, nuking your roommates. But I also really, really like the idea of him just kind of being awful. Do you ship anyone else? Oh yeah. I low-key could ship Tom with anyone. I'm not gonna lie. Like, if I see Ed Tom or Ed Matt, not Ed Matt, sorry, Tom Matt on my timeline, I'll like it. I think it's all cute. So when I have a favorite character, what I do is that I just like the ship of him with, like, anyone. That was me with Ethan Winters. That's me with Tom now. But I do like Tom Toyd the most. I know that's basic. And I saw that a few people were upset that I did that because it was gonna send, like, the other ships, like, 50 years back. And I'm sorry, but I think they're so fun. And I'm getting a lot of comments too that are like, what even happens in Ed's world? They're gonna be so disappointed when they watch Ed's world and see that I was genuinely just actually insane and making things up. Will this be a VOD? Yes, and it will be uploaded to YouTube on my VOD's channel. Can we expect more animations for your version of their story? Yes, I'm currently working on one right now. I am, like, I think like a fourth of the way done with the storyboard currently. OMG, he has no mouth. He doesn't need a mouth. It's not like Toad would listen, but also, it's not like anyone would see. Bro, what Ed's world are you watching? Someone making a fanfiction yet? Stop! Oh my god, I always want to make fanfiction, but then I just think like, what if it just looks so bad? Hold on. I need to find a specific image I sent to my friend when they were trying to convince me to write fanfic. I have no mouth and I must... Do you want to leave? Sit. What is it for? My dog's so cuteness. I need to find it. Okay. This is what I'm worried. If I make fanfic, I'm so scared it's just gonna look like this. I'm so scared I'm gonna write it and it's just the characters are just gonna sound like this. I'm sorry, I can't write fanfic. I can barely even speak English. You are mean to me and you are so mean you don't appreciate anything. That's how it feels. How am I supposed to write English? Listen, I can just give y'all the really long music video animations and then you guys can translate that to English, okay? Absolutely loved your writing on Tom and Toyd. I adore how much you cranked up the off-putting personality on Toyd. Fantastic writing / interpretation. Oh, okay, so in my Tom Toyd timeline, it is different. Here, I'll give y'all a kind of very vague timeline. Just for those who are interested. Here you go. And then I can give some of you a Krita animation if you want. Shrek is Tom and Toyd is Donkey, but it's not gay. Okay. So, this is them. This is them, like, currently, like, future Tom. Because my version ends with, like, future Tom, basically. And then Toy gets his freaky eye. So, and where we're starting is just them as babies. I love baby Tom and Toy. They make me really sad, actually. And yes, my Tom is trans. I see people who are like, oh, I don't like Tom Toy because I hate shipping. Or like, oh, I don't like trans people. But then they're like, oh, but this was really good. Like, bro, okay, can you just not say the first part? I feel like it's not necessary. Also, my favorite design factor is that Toyd's horns are kind of split when he's like a baby. Because, here, I'll show you guys a little sketch of the thing I'm working on. I like the idea of his horns kind of being like kitty ears. Like, you know when like kitties are born and they have like their ears on like the sides of like their heads? I think it is so cute. So I love giving Tom Toy that. Sorry, Tom Toy did the same thing. Crumb, I despise you of all your being, but this was pretty good. Wait, I need to show you guys a comment that like cracked me up really bad. Because I was just like so confused. It was like such a strange thread. So like someone was like, I'm assuming there's some shipping in this video, but since I can't see it, I'm happy. Since I genuinely despise Tom Toy. It's one of the first ships I've ever truly hated. So this guy's like telling us, like, by the way, don't look for his comment. You probably won't be able to. This person is like, I hate Tom Toy. And then someone comes up and they're like, oh, I'm not sure, but she said the video centered around Tom Toy. And then they come back for seconds and just mention, bro, the art visuals are so good. I kind of licked the screen, like unprompted. 3 minutes later, they come back and just add that. And it was like cracking me up so bad. Like, oh my god, Jesus. Bro added a fun fact. No, this one I was like, okay. Like, I'm glad they liked it, but it was like making me dying laugh because it's just like, dude, okay, man. Like, this thread is like nauseating to look at. Okay, I also am seeing people. Okay, by the way, please do not be like, oh, like this pork soda is so much better than the old one. Don't say that. Do not say that. The old one is literally a pillar of Eddsworld society. It is a pillar of Eddsworld society. I'm worried that there will be a lot of discourse. I'm not seeing a lot currently, but I am seeing some things. I'm also seeing people go like, is this Tom Toyd or Toyd Tom? Bro, they're borderline not even a relationship. Like, yeah, yes, like, obviously they're gay, but like, who cares? Like, it doesn't matter that much. I'm sorry. Like, I genuinely do not think about that at all. I have never committed a single brain cell to thinking about that. They literally are choking each other to death and, like, trying to give each other cancer so that the other one has to, like, wear a visor and be dependent on him. Like, who cares? Like, it's just them. It's just those two. It's always gonna be those two. It doesn't matter which way or whatever. Okay. Back to the timeline. Baby Tom and Baby Toyd, they're, like, best friends. Like, super happy, yay. Somewhere along the way, Tom's parents, like, die. These are, like... This is, like, they're still babies. Like, I would say that probably he's, like, maybe 6. You know, 6 or 5, some would say. His parents die, and he kind of gets pulled out of school for a little. He gets pulled out of school because... obviously, he has no guardian anymore. And he starts kind of hopping around foster homes. And the entire time, Toyd has no idea. Toyd has no idea this is happening. So, what it is to Toyd, basically, is just like, okay, I was, like, hanging out with my best friend who also super loved me and was super sweet and followed me, like, no matter what, is suddenly gone. And I have no idea where he went. And... obviously, I'm not saying it was like, oh, it was already an evil, messed up relationship even when they were 3 years old. But, like, it's very much the kind of, like, kid relationship you see where one of them's, like, kind of just bossy and the other one's just like, haha, okay, let's play monkey bars. Like, it's just, like, Toyd is the bossy one. Toyd is like, haha, Thomas, let's go do monkey bars. Oh, I want to do the slide. No, we have to do monkey bars. And then Tom will just be like, okay, yay. Like, they're just babies. But that is their relationship. He's kind of bossy, and Tom follows him. But Tom likes following him. And Toyd likes that Tom follows him. So it's good. And they're cute, happy babies. But then his dad gets blown up, so he's sad. And eventually, he comes back. And... he's very sad. At this point now, like, Ed and Matt are in their class too. So now all 4 of them are in the class. Tom is sad, and now he is very, very emotionally attached to Tommy Bear. And Toyd is not allowed to touch it. Toyd wants to touch it, not because he actually wants Tommy Bear, but he's just upset that he can't really have something that Tom has. It's just little kid stuff. Like, this isn't like a really super serious thing where it's like, I can't believe he wanted to take Tommy Bear from Tom. How could he? It's just literally like, that is kind of like how their relationship has turned into now. He gets jealous. And it doesn't help that now there are other people being added into the mix. Because now they got like Ed and Matt here. And I know it's like, well, no, they all meet Ed first before they meet each other. Like, listen. This is my universe. My Tom Turkey universe. So now there's Ed and Matt here. Here's a Matt, so you guys don't get sad. Well, it's not cut Torty Bear, is it? But now there are more people being introduced. And they're being introduced, both Tom and Toyd are starting to have like a bad relationship. So they eventually grow up, and as like they're growing up, they're doing school together and stuff. They're still children, they're going into like teenage stuff now. Tom starts to kind of distance himself from Toyd. It's not like he has like a little baby brain. He's just like, oh, Toyd's mad at me all the time. I don't want to play monkey bars with Toyd. And Ed is here now, and Ed likes to play on the slide sometimes. So I can play on the slide with Ed instead of having to play monkey bars with Toyd. So now Toyd is like, you're abandoning me for this guy. Why are you doing this to me? And obviously this is all kind of happening because this awful thing happened to him. But Toyd does not know that. Toyd does not know that his dad got blown up by a bazooka. So now they are teenagers. And this is where literally everything bad starts happening. Like, I would say, like, when they become teenagers, that's when they start, like, actually disliking each other. Like, before that, it's kind of just like, oh, I guess I'll play monkey bars with you even though I don't want to. Then like a supervisor every now and then will tell Toyd he's being bossy or something. And like the teachers can't really do anything about like Tom. They just kind of have to, like, they can't tell other kids like, yo, this guy's dad is dead. Like, they can't do that. So now they're in like high school. Toyd like figures it out eventually. Like obviously when they get older and like Toyd can like comprehend what a foster home is, then like he understands now. But now he's just mad because it's like, why didn't you tell me? Like, why didn't you tell me that this happened to you so I could have understood? And Tom's just like, bro, I was a baby, I couldn't tell you, I don't know why I didn't tell you. And kids kind of cope with things strangely. Or not in, like, the perfect way. So, like, now Toyd is, like, upset. And they're in high school now. And this is when I like to think they start getting to actual physical fights. But, again, Toyd basically has known Tom for the longest. He has been the closest with Tom. Even though it's, like, super complicated now, like, they still both know that, like, okay, you know more about me than anyone else has ever known about me. But, like, I still can't even, like, talk to you. So it's awful for both of them. They get into, like, Ad! No! Okay, we'll pause. Crowd pause! Ads! Okay, I didn't know that people were getting that into it. Okay, we paused. We paused. It's okay. We paused. It's okay. Wants to be involved voice? I got an ad too. Okay, but I didn't get one. Keep going. Okay, while people are... I won't go on to the next part, but I'll just kind of, like, elaborate. Basically, like, everything that Toyd wants now is literally, like, the last time Tom liked you was when you guys were, like, 6 years old. And I'm free. Release me. Okay, are y'all free? Free! Okay, I'm assuming you guys are free now. Basically, like, boiled down to, like, the bare minimum, their entire problem is that Tom is changing too much and Tord doesn't want to change at all. Tord just wants the, oh yeah, we're best friends, you follow me, you like me, I like you. We do whatever because I know it's best. And then Tom has been through so much stuff that has changed him, like, so fundamentally that he is basically an entirely different person. He's still Tom, but to Tord, he's just like, who are you? Like, come on, why are you acting like this? So Tord is autistic is what you're saying. Hey, it's up to your interpretation. But basically, Tord does not want things to change, but Tom is very, very determined to change. His life sucks, his foster parents suck, everything sucks, his friends sucks. He's just miserable. And this is when, like, things start going really, really bad. Like, to the point where it's like, it's not as complicated because, like, no, cause actually it's probably more complicated because they're kind of forced to be within each other's vicinity. Like, because they have, like, a shared friend group and they're, like, teenagers. Y'all, if you have ever had a friend group divorce, it's basically like that, except your parents are staying together, and it's, like, arguably worse than if they just divorced. So Ed and Matt are, like, here, and they're happy. Well, they're not happy. They're not the happiest, because, like, two of their friends kind of are always fighting. But it's more of just, like, the thing where it's like, okay, even though you guys fight and, like, kind of low-key have beef with each other, we're all gonna still hang out, all four of us, just because that's our friend group. So we'll stay and we won't change that. So that's, like, a win for Tord. But it's also a loss for him because since they're all hanging out together, Tord basically is just always watching Tom hang out with these other people and have fun with them in a way he used to have fun with him. And that kind of makes him upset. Like, why can't we have fun like that? But Tord is also refusing to change. And they fight so often, it gets to a point where the only time he's kind of having any sort of interaction with Tom is through fighting. So he kind of just starts antagonizing him all the time. What if they had a baby to save the marriage? This isn't Ethan Winters and Mia Winters, bro. Sit down. Why can't we laugh now like we did then? Exactly. That's basically Tord's entire problem. That's his entire mindset with Tom. Like, hey, we used to be so close. Why did you stop being close with me? Why did you start changing things? Why did you mess things up? And Tom's just like, bro, my parents are dead and also my life sucks. And this isn't to say that, like, Tord is, like, bullying Tom. They, like, both mutually are fighting and hitting each other and hurting each other and yelling at each other. Like, if Tord even tried to, like, be nice or kind of, like, have fun like they used to, because of all the stuff that's been happening up until that point, Tom kind of just takes it in bad faith. Where he's just like, okay, what's your ulterior motive? Like, you're trying to do something, and then Tord gets mad, like, why do you think I have an ulterior motive? I'm just a nice guy, and then they get mad at each other again. So Tom keeps playing the dead parent card. Come on, Tom. Oh my gosh, don't be so dramatic. Try blaming Tom as if it was his fault for his parents dying. Not exactly, he's not like, oh, like, come on, like, it's not even a big deal. Tord is, like, mad that, like, Tom didn't tell him. And because Tom didn't tell him, Tord kind of was just like, well, things are only this complicated now because you didn't tell me. You should have told me. And then Tom's just like, I don't owe you anything. I don't have to tell you that. But again, it's like, if something happens to a friend, you would want to know. What about Tord's parents? Tord has parents, and well, yeah, duh, he has parents, but they're not dead is what I mean. I like to think that they were actually pretty nice, and they were pretty nice to Tom. Like, Tom would come over to their house all the time, and like, Tord would come over to Tom's house all the time, and they would have play dates and be happy. And then, eventually, Tord just never comes over to Tom's house again, and Tord is like, oh, why don't we hang out every Tuesday like we used to? And Tord's parents don't tell Tord. Tord's parents don't tell him he's like a baby. Like, they don't sit him down and they're like, oh, something happened to your friend Tom. They don't tell him. So he doesn't know because Tom doesn't tell him, his parents don't tell him, the supervisors don't tell him. He finds out eventually in between this period, and it kind of just makes him more bitter towards Tom. But Tord's parents do try to help. They're just like, oh, bring an extra sandwich to school for Tom so he can have it. Do this, do that. But they don't actually tell him because they don't want to make things worse for Tom. But they fight. It's not like fighting where like one of them's getting sent to the hospital, but it is like black eyes, like bruised knuckles, whatever. And a lot of their fighting is mostly just them like being passive aggressive to each other during conversations. Like they're in like a Wendy's and then like Tom will say something kind of rude and then Tord will get really mad. Tord misses those play dates. He does. Thomas, why can't we have a play date? Like, bro, you're in high school now. Get over it. And I'm trying to remember the timeline I had for them. Do you think Tom has any kind of affection for Tord like later on in life, or is his own kind of toxic affection? I do not think, and I know people don't really like this because people are like, oh, like Tom is also a bad person. Like Tom wanted to destroy Christmas, and like Tom is like so mean. But I do think that like any affection Tom has for Tord is more of just like sadness, not yearning as in like, oh, I wish I could have your love now. It's like, it's also just like, wow, we used to be so close. You knew so much about me. And we somehow couldn't like save it. But Tom isn't really holding on to that in a sense where it's like, oh, why can't we just go back to that? He just like, he knows it's gone, but he still misses it. But he's kind of come to terms with it. Unlike Tord, who is just constantly thinking like, let's just go back to normal. Why don't you just go back to following me? Why don't you just go back to listening to me? I always knew what was best. When you listened to me, you were happy. Now you don't listen to me and you're sad. So obviously, it's your fault. But I do think Tord knows enough to the point where it's like, okay, well, obviously, I am doing stuff that is bad. It's not Tom's fault. I am doing this, I am doing that, and it's not good. But he can't really admit it. And he doesn't really want to. So it causes a lot of conflict. I'm trying to think now. So, I think what happens next, they go to college, and like, what happens is that Tom, Ed, and Matt, they all room together. They all have a room together. And this is where it's like super like, not canon compliant, and I'm sorry, and please don't get mad at me. But Tord doesn't go to college, he goes into the army. He enlists in the army for a bit. He literally just disappears. They're all like, oh, let's all room together for college, and Tord's like, I'm gonna go into the army, I'll be back. Listen, in that one army episode that I keep forgetting the name of, he was loving that. He was loving that so much. He was like grinning. He was thrilled to be there. Moving targets. Thank you, thank you. So, they all go to college, and Tord splits off. He splits off, and he starts doing his own thing. He joins the army and stuff. He meets some people. He gets into cahoots with some people. But then, he eventually comes back. They finish college. Tord leaves or whatever from wherever he was. He comes back and he's jacked, by the way. I know people hate jacked Tord, but I'm sorry. I love jacked Tord. He comes back and he's jacked. And he's like, Thomas, look at my muscles. I'm so big now. Isn't that impressive? And Tom doesn't care and Tord feels bad. But Tord comes back and they live together. They live together now. They all live in the same house. But Tord is basically kind of testing the waters. He's like, okay, I am going to move back and maybe things are fixed with Thomas. Maybe he has some time to like grow. And then we can be friends again. And right now, he currently has 2 goals. What's the word? He has 2 things that he is dedicated to. One, he still has that kind of attachment to Tom. And I'm sorry for Ed Tord or Matt Tord shippers. He doesn't really, like, he does care about them, but in his head, he kind of has like a list of like priorities. So it's like this. Tom, giant robot. World domination. And then roommates. Ed and Matt. And what's going on right now is that these 2 are currently fighting for the top position. He's like, okay, I could build a giant robot, or I could get back with my British situationship. So, he comes back and they're all living together now. They're all living together in the same house. Tord has not left to the big city yet. I need to make this timeline bigger because there's so much stuff. And it's low-key incomprehensible and I don't understand how anyone will be able to like understand this. I'm not even gonna post it. If people want the timeline, they gotta watch the video so they understand it. Which, by the way, this is just me talking. I'm sorry, bros. If none of it's real, none of this is canon. I made all of it up. It's all not real. I made all of it up. I'm sorry, bros. The music cut out. Hello? Okay. Toy trying to, and they were roommates. Solution, giant Tom robot. Say that again? But basically, he is currently deciding Tom and this giant robot. And that is actually... I'm gonna save this so that, like, it doesn't, like, crash and I lose everything. Hold on, let me save this 2026, right? That part is actually... We're at the part where, like, it's actually being shown in the animation. Let me find it. It's the one with that scene where he looks like that One Piece character. I can't take that frame seriously. I'm glad people like that frame, but every time I see it, I cringe. I just think of that, like, Blackbeard painting where he's, like, writing. Tord, you're not that guy. So, let's go all the way back. We're at the part where this is what it is right now. We are right here. Tord comes back from the army, from whatever suspicious thing he was doing. Now he's living with them again. And now he is... Yeah, I had to draw, like, lots of ladies in, like, bikinis and stuff. I wasn't the biggest fan. He has to currently decide if he values his friends more than his own ambition. Oh, and here's the Magical Girl Amnesia poster that gets cropped out of there. Tom is better than me. I wouldn't be able to play it nonchalant if Tord came back jacked. So, Tord is now in the house with his friends. And he's just like, okay, I can decide. Do I commit to, like, my homeboy? Or do I commit to my giant robot? And he starts planning it out. He has, like, blueprints. He has his, like, secret room or whatever. And he's trying to figure out what he wants. And it cuts to the fight scene. He came back thinking, like, oh, me and Tom can maybe, like, go back to how things are. We're both grown now. But they're fighting. They're literally fighting. They're literally immature children, still like the teenagers. And Tord doesn't actually see that much of a problem with it at first. He's like, oh, Tom's giving me attention. We're like fighting. We're yelling. This is our thing. This is just how it is for us. But then, when Tom cries, then he kind of stops smiling. Then he's like, uh-oh. That's not good. I made him cry. This is like more serious than I thought. Because him seeing Tom cry just tells him, like, oh, this is actually affecting Tom in a bad way. This actually still affects Tom. And it kind of has him have that moment of clarity. But at the same time, he likes it. He still likes it. Cause, like he says, maybe you still think of us. And Tom basically having that reaction of like crying over him, crying about them, makes Tord kind of think, oh, you still think of me. You still get sad over me. You still like me. And it's like kind of that delusion that he has. Where he gets a bit excited when he thinks of it. Maybe you still think of us. And then, I want you all the time. And it's bad. But Tord is cooked. I thought Tord was crying at first. Yes, that was the intention. But basically, Tord also realizes, okay, like, clearly I can't really make things how they used to be. Because Tord coming back after the army, he's part of, like, Red Army or whatever now. Like, by the time he comes back and moves in with them, he's still with them. So, he's basically just seeing, okay, do I abandon Tom or do I abandon my giant robot? In that fight, he's like, okay, no matter what I do, there's still gonna be, like, something with, like, between us. And he is very ambitious. He has a very big ego. He thinks he's very great. He knows he has the ability to do the things he wants to do. So he's like, I'm doing my giant robot. I'm going to take over the world, whatever. And then Tom will see that he should have listened to me. Like a big middle finger in his face. So, he leaves. He goes, I'm going to go see the big city. And before all this, I would like to say that Tord does attempt to make a connection with Tom and gets rejected. Like, not even in like a, you know, there's this girl that I like. She's really pretty. She's a lot like you know, but not like that kind of like connection, but like, just like, can we have what you have with like Ed and Matt? Like, you have fun with them. You smile with them. You're happy with them. Can we have that? And Tom kind of just rejects him. He does the yawn arm rest thing. Somebody has a crush on you. But he does attempt it, but it's gotten to the point where, like, for Tom, it's just like, no, like, I do not want to be close with you. Like, even though what we used to have might have been good, what we've had since then has been bad, so I don't want anything to do with you anymore. And he kind of just... Toyd is kind of just like, he's sad. He's sad that Tom doesn't want to be with him, but at the same time, he's so, like, judgmental. He's like, he kind of blames Tom. Because, like, to Toyd, Tom is, like, just this, like, depressed, miserable alcoholic. And he doesn't have to be like that if he was just, like, if he just, like, tried to fix things with Toyd, if, like, they fix things and he wouldn't be so sad anymore. And, like, Toyd could... The entire thing is Toyd thinking I could fix him when he's the one who needs to be fixed. He's the one who needs to change. And in his time where he was in the army, Tom has been changing more. He's been changing even more. He's hanging out with his friends. He's living his life. He's, like, developing as a person. And Toyd literally goes to the army. And comes back exactly the same, except now he's jacked. So again, Toyd is refusing to change, and Tom is changing so much. So, why don't you include a shot of Toyd working out at the army? Oh, maybe I will. But Tom basically rejects him, and he's like, okay, now I gotta full commit to, like, this giant robot thing. He gets rejected, and then he's like, whatever, I don't need you. I'm gonna take over the world instead. So he leaves, again, to go to the big city. And he starts just preparing everything, blah, blah, blah. He's gone for a while, and then the events of the end happen. Like, canon compliance stuff. We're at the part where Toyd blows up the entire house. And at this point, he's like, yeah, he's obsessed with Tom, but now he's just like, fine, I don't need you, die. Like, whatever. Like, I don't need you anymore. I have my giant robot, I have an army, I have people who respect me. You are like nothing. You are nothing to me. I can kill you so easily. And I will. Goodbye forever. And he blows up Tom. And he's about to leave. But Tom comes back. Out of sight, out of mind. Exactly. Tom comes back and Tom beats him. So now he's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Does John still die in your universe? Yes. So, he's finally kind of gotten over Tom. I beat you. I can build a giant robot. I can lead an army. You're nothing. You're just a miserable alcoholic who never listened to me. And you're miserable because you never listened to me. So, Tom takes him down. Tom defeats him. Tom somehow survives that missile shot and destroys his giant robot. He chose his giant robot over Tom, and then Tom destroys it. So now Toyd is like, oh my god, like, everything keeps coming back to Tom. Gets rejected once, blows up situationship, classy. That's so sad. It's kind of pathetic. My version of their relationship is extremely messy, and I know it is, but I like it. I like how messy it can get. And now, Toyd is kind of just like, there's literally nobody that I ever saw myself as like an equal to other than you. And you just bested me. Like, I'm better than you, I built this robot, I'll kill you, you're nothing, I manipulated your friends, they chose me over you. And then Tom still gets him back. Tom still wins somehow. He survives getting blown up, and then he destroys Toyd's robot. So now Toyd has literally lost like the entire half side of his face. And he's just like obsessed with Tom. And it's like 100 times worse. Because now it's like Tom is the only person he kind of like respects as an individual. Like, he genuinely thinks that like only Tom can like provide that kind of relationship that he wants. Of just like an equal. But even then, he still doesn't even see Tom as a full equal. At least not before this. To him, Tom is like second place. Tord is the best. Tord is the strongest. Tord can build an army. Tord can build a robot. And Tom is not as good as him. Tom is the follower. He's the one who leads. Tom is the one who listens to him. Tord is the one who knows what's best. And Tom just beat him, basically. So now his whole ego is like severely bruised. And he literally like lost a part of himself to Tom. Physically now. And he becomes Red Leader. He's like, whatever. He has an army. He's like taking over the world. He's super strong. He's super cool. And then he sees Tom again. What is this guy doing here? And that's why it has that shot. That's why he's so shocked. He's so distressed to see him even there at all. And it's like, he sees him again after all this time. And he's still actively not listening, not following him. He has Ed's gun. He's on Ed's side. He's not listening to him. He's trying to fight him. He still hates him. And he's still alive. So now Tord is like super mad. He's just like perplexed. Like how? How did you get here? How are you still not listening to me when I have so much power? And it kind of like freaks him out. Like it kind of like stresses him out. It's like a really big bruise on his ego. The fact that the one person who has ever bested him is like actively running around and like trying to take him down. And to him it's like, I can control all these people by being a leader, by instilling fear, by instilling all this power. I can control armies, and you're still running around trying to take down what I've built for myself. And he's just so frustrated about it. But at the same time, he's like kind of thrilled. Because it's like, you're still out there. There's someone still out there that could like best me. Everything happened because no one communicated with a kid. So, now he's like, also, this is another Matt Crumb that no one pointed out. Now he's like obsessed with him. He's like, this guy, the only person who has ever beat me, is currently trying to beat me again. I need to prove to all these people and to myself that he can't do it again because I'm the best. Because I'm the strongest, because I'm the most powerful. I can control armies, I can control towns, cities, people. But this guy's out here, and Tord is just like, he's gonna ruin it. He's gonna ruin everything I built again. Just like how he took away my robot. Just how he took away my childhood. All this stuff. And then, he's just like, okay, I'll catch you. And then, you will follow me. And that's the eye thing. When he crumbles the paper, his fingers go into Tom's eyes. Yes! Yes! That is 100% intentional. His fingers dig into his eyes in this poster. It's a little more noticeable in the storyboard. Where you can see here, it like gouges out his eyes. I knew that door had a lock on it! OMG, I didn't notice that. Yes, I was hoping someone would notice it. I wasn't gonna say anything, but someone in chat noticed. Does she give him the laser to the face that gives him cancer? I don't know. I don't know. But I can't say it was all preemptive. He was planning for it to happen. Before he even caught Tom, he was already making these goggles. And it's like, Why would you be doing that? Why would you be doing that? So, Tord is, like, obsessed with Tom now. Tom's running around. Eventually, somehow, and there is actually an extended cut of Jane. There's an extended cut of the Jane animation on my Ko-fi that I shared. And in that extended cut, it actually kind of goes into what happened with Tom and Tord and how he gets and how it happens, I guess is what I'll say. It's not an actual fully animated extended cut. Originally, it was gonna be longer, so I had it storyboarded and everything. But I'm probably never gonna make the extended cut. But because I made it already, I just shared it with the Ko-fi supporters. So, eventually, somehow, Tom finds his way to Tord. But I do think that even before Tord does, like, anything dire, he's trying to, like, convince Tom. Like, hey man, remember me? I shot you with a nuke? Wanna join my army? And you can be my right-hand man, and you'll get lots of benefits, you'll get healthcare, pet insurance, anything you want, man. And Tom, like, genuinely hates him. Like, that door had a lock on it. No one believed me. They all trusted you for no reason. I was homeless for a couple days. And then you, like, blew me up with a nuke. No, I don't like you. So, Tom is very much just, like, literally no matter what you say to me, no matter how many, like, how hard you try to ruin my life to make me have no choice to, like, join you, I'm not gonna join you, because I hate you. I'd rather literally die. So, Tord just keeps on trying to convince Tom, and Tom just genuinely will not listen. Like, he's not, like, holding Tom at gunpoint, like, join my army! But, like, he's just, like, he keeps meeting him. He keeps finding him. And it gets to a point where, like, Tom, when he sees Tord, he's not even scared. Like, oh my god, he's gonna, like, shoot me. He's just like, oh my god, bro, what do you want? And it's kind of like this weird thing because, like, obviously, whatever army resistance thing he has, they're all trying to get rid of this guy. And Tord is, like, so obviously biased and, like, wants Tom. But it's not even like, oh, if we give you Tom, you'll stop, like, killing everyone and, like, taking over the world. Like, no, he just also wants Tom on top of killing everyone and taking over the world. Crumb, is this going to be an available VOD after the stream? Yes, it will. I'll upload it right away onto the YouTube. So, eventually, after trying for a very, very long time to get Tom to just stop being so unreasonable and see his point of view, to just listen to him because he knows what's best. And remember when we were last happy? It was when you listened to me. It's when you followed me. He's like, okay, I guess I have to take things into my own hands. You will follow me. I will make you follow me. So, he gets a little present for Tom. He's like, oh no, your vision's failing? Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that happened to you. I have no idea how that happened. You know, I could always, like, fix it for you. You know, all you have to do is join my army and you can just have this nice little visor that is the exact width of your head and fits perfectly. It also has a playlist of all your favorite songs. If you just join my army, you know. And Tom says no. Tom hates him so much. Tom's like, no, I don't care. I'm gonna go blind. I don't care. And then now Tord is, like, super mad. Like, bro, seriously? Like, you literally have nothing. And you would rather have nothing than be with me. So, eventually, he just kind of grabs him. just kind of snatches him away. Messes around with his headset a little. Plays around with his brain. And now Tom can see again. But, like, he's kind of, like, messed up. Like, certain things don't really seem right. He doesn't really know how he feels about certain things because his brain is kind of, like, messed up. He actually doesn't even know how he feels about certain things because it's, like, all scrambled in his brain. But now the Red Leader has a brand new spanking secretary. So good for Tord, I guess. And for Tord, it's like his final win. Like, Tom follows me. Tom listens to me. Tom does anything I tell him to do, just like he used to. Which is good. But then, it's like... And Tord knows this. He's like, it doesn't really feel like anything. Like, he won, I guess, yeah. But, like, he doesn't feel like he won. Tom listens to him now, yeah, but it's not like Tom actually likes him. It's like a situation where it's like, okay, Tom, file my papers or I'll kill everyone you love. And he's just like, okay, I'll file your papers. Like, I guess I have to listen to you. But it's like, Tord can't really comprehend why it would feel differently. He can't comprehend why he's not happy, why everything's so boring. Like, Tom doesn't argue and Tom doesn't say the things he would normally say. Tom isn't being snarky or sassy or whatever. He's just basically being held hostage. Like, Tom, listen. Be my #1 guy and you can see. If you're not my #1 guy, Ed and Matt and everyone's gonna die. I'm just gonna nuke the entire place. Just like, okay, man. Like, so, that's kind of the gist of it. There's more, but I don't want to talk for too much because I've already been talking for like an hour. But I know it's super messy, and I know it's not canon compliant, and I know there are probably some things that people don't like because it's an interpretation they dislike, and that's okay. If you dislike this interpretation, that's okay, and if other people have different interpretations, that's also okay. Do whatever you want, like whatever you want, tell whatever story you want. Don't attack other people, please. I wasn't listening. Can you repeat? Oh, of course, dude. So basically, I really love your fanon. I really enjoy this interpretation. I love different interpretations. This one is so genius. Okay, I'm glad you guys like it. And I'm glad people like what they can interpret from the animation so far. Definitely the next one I'm working on will be going more into it. Let me see if I have a little thing for you guys, maybe. A little sneak peek. So thank you to all of you for supporting me so much. So, we got Teenage Tom Tord. That's right. The next animation will involve Teenage Tom Tord. So be excited for that. If you would like to see updates, animation rips, the full storyboard once I finish it, which will hopefully be this week, consider join the Ko-fi for $1 or $5 depending on what you want. $1 Ko-fis get basically just works in progresses, GIFs, clips, and $5 Ko-fi gets the early access. So early access got to see Pork Soda 3 days early. I know, it wasn't in Pride Month, I know. but they got to see it 3 days early. And they also get to see the fully animated parts because since Krita gets so big and fat when I animate for too much, I have to animate it into parts. So when I'm done animating part 1, they get to see the entirety of part 1 uploaded. And then when part 2 is done, I upload the entirety of part 2. And so on until I get to the last part, which they will see in the fully stitched together thing. But I'm really excited to work on the next one, just because I feel like this animation definitely focused a lot on, like, kind of, I'd say, like, not even, like, this in-between. It focuses on, like, this segment, honestly. And hopefully, with the next animation, it's gonna be focusing a little bit on these guys and a lot of it on Teenage Tom Toy. And then it'll also get into this part. The tip of the Tom Toy bird. Exactly. Any tips for animating on Krita? Oh yeah, I can give you guys a little, what's the word? A little tutorial now if you want. So, I really like doing storytelling through animation. And I love seeing everyone's interpretations of certain things. There's someone on TikTok who made like a big video kind of detailing all their thoughts. And I loved it because they actually picked up on like so much stuff. And it's very fun. Okay, so let me show y'all how I animate. Basically, it's just the canvas. I have the whatever canvas size you want. If your animation is gonna be really big and maybe like you don't really have a lot of space on your computer or it's not very strong, you could use a smaller canvas size. I'll show you another animation file just for the kind of example of the different kinds of ways I do it. So this was a Transformers animation I had done. And basically, the pork soda one is a lot more organized. Like, you can see everything here is just kind of in one place. And that's because this was done using the lasso tool, so I didn't need multiple layers. I only really needed just, like, one little part. Whoa, where is my animation? It's all gone. Oh, this is the old one. Okay, yeah, this one isn't done. But I just animated everything one canvas size. Just on the canvas size of 1280 and 720. It's way smaller. So it helps a lot. But for pork soda specifically, what I have now, it's 1920 and 1080. It doesn't really matter what canvas size you use, unless you like want to specifically animate it to something. What I do, I'll just get a selection tool, and then I will invert it. Oh wait, actually first I'll do that. And what I do, I just make my canvas a bit bigger. So I have all that empty space on the side. And this does give you a very big canvas. Like an extremely big canvas. Then I invert it, and there's my border. That is my border for my animation so that I can have it cropped out and still do camera movement. Would you mind repeating what you said basically after the pork soda animation? What comes next in your AU? I said so much. I don't know what I'd be repeating. Okay, well, the next animation I'm doing will be focusing on their childhood, their life as teenagers, and then the future. That's like a TLDR. So sorry. But basically, if you see here, this is where you're gonna have all your keyframes. I have a hotkey so that if I press caps lock, it'll make it for me. So I can just press caps lock, it'll put one down. And that's why sometimes when I send stuff in the Ko-fi server, I'll be on caps lock on accident. But basically what that keyframe does, it gives you something new to work with. So, let's draw a Tom or something. And I use just the default brush with no brush smoothing, no brush stability. I'm not a big fan of it. It does make my lines a bit shaky, but you get used to it. Use whatever you want, though. So, you can move the keyframe. And depending on how you move the keyframe, that's how long that frame will be there for. So you don't have to like be copy pasting this one keyframe over and over again. You just have it here, and it'll be there until the next keyframe. And I'm gonna turn off my overlay real quick. Over here, right here, this is where you can change your clip start, your clip end, and your frame rate. I personally use 10 frames per second. I would probably recommend using 12, just because I feel like that's a good frame per second to have. Working on lower frames per second can make it really hard, especially if you're animating something fast-paced. The clip start and the clip end is basically to just show you when your animation will end. So I could put that at 10, and now my animation will end at 10 frames. Could change it to 12, now it ends at 12 frames. And this is good for just if you want to animate a specific part of the audio. I wasn't listening. Can you repeat everything from the last 2 hours? Of course, anything for you. And in this little corner, you can see it here and you can see it here. There is a little light bulb. If you click that light bulb, then you will be able to have the onion turned on. And for those who don't animate and don't know what onion is, it's basically you can see the frame in front of you and the frame after you. So, the frame behind me is in red and the frame in front of me is in blue. So, we have our second keyframe. Let's make him raise an eyebrow. So this is my widely acclaimed, super well done animation. I know. No need for applause. No need for applause. So, we have 2 keyframes. Obviously, we can add more if we want. Let's add a little frame where he's kind of like going down to kind of build up to the next part. And then we will have him pop up. And we'll give him a little stretch. I'll just make a really simple animation just for the sake of having something moving on the screen. Exaggerate that, give it a little bit of a squish. There are 3 ants on me. And we will give you a little bit of an ease. Just a little, so it doesn't look too snappy. And again, the red frame is the one before and the blue frame is the one after. So we want to ease into the blue one, so we're going to put it closer to the blue one. I know this is a really bad animation tutorial, but I'm kind of just trying to show you guys how to use Krita, not how to actually animate. I can't teach people how to animate because I don't really know any terms, and I wouldn't feel in good conscience trying to tell people what to do because I feel like I would just like fundamentally damage their animation ability for the rest of their life. So he's just moving a little. He is just being very suspicious. He's moving. Cool. What we can do now, if I have another frame, I could put something also there. Let's put in a toad. Everyone say hi, toad. So toad is there, and toad will just be blinking. And since he is on a separate layer, he can move without having to also move Tom. So if you're looking at him blink, he is moving in a frame where Tom isn't moving. And he is allowed to do that. Because he's on a different layer. So now there's 2 of them. Tom and Toad on my screen. And actually, let's give him a body. a really, really bad body that I'm also redrawing in every frame. Just because I can't be bothered to actually copy-paste it. So, Tom and Toad are here now. Let's say we want to move Toad. Let's say we want to have him just slide to the right. To do that, you need to do the camera movement. Let's say we want to twist him or something. You're gonna have to open a new Docker, which is Animation Curves. And this is where it gets awful. So, you can see here that there's this, but it's like you're not actually applying it to anything. You have to add a transform mask to the thing. And you need to transform the transform mask, not the base layer. You need to move this. And to move it, we're going to put a curved keyframe by pressing this button. And when we press this button, we will see that there is now a little curved keyframe here. And what this keyframe tells us is that it tells us that Toad will be staying in this position he is in right now. We're going to add another keyframe right here at the end, and we will add another one after that. Because just imagine that you have another scene after this. You're going to move Toad around. You don't want the other scene after that to also be moving. So Toad is just, we're going to move this here. He's just going to be leaning back. That is it. And look at that. Look at him move. Look at him move. Look at him lean away. Look at him lean away. And only Toad is leaning. Tom stays completely still because we did not move him at all. The transformation mask applies only to Toad. If you turn off the border and you see the full canvas, you will see that a part of Toad is actually not getting cut off because I drew the line so long. But hypothetically, if that part was missing, you wouldn't see it because thanks to the fade, it doesn't matter. So that's how you do really simple tweening. You can do more. You can add like easing, as in like he moves faster in the beginning and then slows down later. But it has been 2 hours and I need to work on the next storyboard. So I gotta end stream now. If people are like curious and you guys genuinely do want me to like do an animation tutorial, let me know and maybe I will. But again, I'm not very good. So I don't know if y'all should trust me. Alright. Okay, last question. I was wondering if you have any lore for Tom's monster from canon. I remember it was a bit implied that Toad had something to do with it. Toad did have something to do with it, and it was on purpose, and it was during the period when he was living in their house before he left to the big city. Who was more stronger as a teenager, Toad or Tom? Tom. Tom was stronger. Okay. Thank you everyone for coming. I hope you guys were interested. Again, please don't start any discourse, please. And be respectful to everyone. Goodbye and thank you. I will upload this VOD onto my VOD channel right away and post a link on it on Twitter. Goodbye everyone.